Hello there guys, it's Tonko here, and we're here today with another game of Race for All. This is part of the Victory Run playoff tournament. At the end of the first season of Victory Run, we decided to have a bit of fun with a playoff tournament, so the top 4 teams were all pitted against each other, and it was just to see, who would ultimately come out as a top team. And this is the semi-final match between Rush and BPF. And for this tournament, the procedure went where throughout the season there had been a map pool of 8 maps. For this tournament, the map was randomly chosen out of those 8 maps. However, teams were both given 2 vetoes each, so overall there was only 4 maps to be chosen from. For this match, BPF vetoed both Abandoned Kingdom and Forced Despite, whilst Rush opted to veto both Slippery Slope and Modern Warfare. So I hope you guys enjoy. This match will be commentated by both me and Will, or YYL, however you know him, and enjoy. So we have Rush in the left lane, with iTouchDude, Seaside Pool, Fold C, and Onicam, previously Chimera Badge. And on the right lane we have BPF, which consists of Gunplayer Gamer, Charberg, Ultimate Falcon, and BZ Steve.
Yep, and this is going to be the first match of the end season for Victory Run. It's the end of season 1. Today is going to be 3 matches, two between the top 4 teams of Victory Run this season. First match is going to be played on Mountain Mayhem, map we haven't seen in a while in competitive play, but a good map nonetheless.
And we're good to go. Begin the countdown.
Okay, so normally on this map you'll see teams rush for the cannon supplies. This used to be a map that took a long time, it was long and methodical. Now you'll see more teams rush forward, try to get everything done as soon as possible. I'm not expecting anything less as they drop into the trough.
I do expect Rush from previous experience with them, seeing them to take a more resource intensive approach. They do like to get a resource advantage and then press it out from there. Whereas BPF, their approach can vary from map to map, but Rush can have this approach generally for most maps.
Just as you're saying that, one member of Rush did drop down for the iron down below. Foldesi breaking 3 blocks at the beginning, moving up towards the mountain. It looks like he's the furthest ahead, making his way to the house now. Meanwhile, on the other side, Charberg making his way up as well. He's a little bit behind because he did grab the water rather than grab the water lower than where Foldesi did.
So we have iTouchDude making some sort of cannon at the iron supplies. Looks like he'll be aiming at the enemy team's iron. He's already collected their own, so this could be a big kind of resource attack early on.
Yep, Foldesi at the cannon's chest now. Gunplayer Gamer also building up a wall in front of his cannon's chest and grabbing the supplies. It'll be interesting to see if Fold gets off a cannon in time to destroy it, or if both teams are going to have their cannon supplies.
And his cannon went off. I don't think it worked as intended. I think there may have been a bit of, where it's a bit of a dry cannon, it was a bit unpredictable, and it got a lot of damage, but not to the iron blocks, which is what it was aiming for.
Chaos Cannon going off at the cannon resource area, but it looks like Gunplayer Gamer made it out alive. He is going to have all of those resources, cannon supplies on him, and be able to move up the mountain with him.
And at the top of the mountain we have Onicam with the enchanted chestplate as well as the power bow, so he's getting a pretty strong lockdown. It's hard to break that initially if you since the iron chestplate is so strong early game. But we have a few people from the side of BPF trying to make their way up. They've cleverly made some armor, and they're trying to hold up as much as they can, try and tank as much, and slowly they're digging their way through the mountain, so they're taking the more slow and safe approach.
Fold setting up what looks like a dry cannon to shoot at the house. Let's see where it goes. Yep, it's taken out the resources in the house, took out most of both chests here, so that's going to be a lot of resources lost for BPF. Very nice cannon there.
And that seems to be the tone of this match so far. Another cannon is being set up at the top of the mountain. Looks like Rush is aiming to take out BPF's chest at the top. So they really are strutting out the resources and trying to get this big resource advantage.
One thing I did just notice, there were some resources taken out of the house. They do have a double chest hidden on the mountain, right where Gunplayer Gamer died. So they do have some supplies, as far as items are concerned. Fold taking out quite a bit of supplies here, but they were able to pick up some and get out with them.
This cannon on the top of the mountain, it hasn't quite worked as intended. The first two shots. Be interesting to see where it goes from here. We've seen, I believe it's Charberg, yep, make his way into the PvE. I don't think he wanted to go in there, but it was the only port of safety since the cover was blown up at the top of the mountain.
They do have a little bit of a tunnel going through. It does drop them out right here into the open. So it's going to be hard for them to get past over to third wall. Speaking of which, has anyone on Rush's side made it over there yet? Let's find out. As far as I'm aware, the no build zone on third is still enforced victory run. Is that correct?
Yep, that is correct.
Okay. So players are going to have to do this completely legitimately. There will be no building in the third wall area. That rule is being enforced. No one on Rush's side making their way there yet. Sarpal and Cam are both up at the top of the mountain, just PvPing, making sure no one gets by here still.
And we have iTouchDude now at the top of the mountain with full enchanted armor, enchanted bow, and it looks like he's going to be looking towards his PvE wall. It seems Rush have really aimed at just getting this resource advantage and not actually attempting the walls and just getting this advantage and then just using this huge resource advantage they now have to try and close out the game pretty quickly from this point. It'll be hard for them to be stopped with these kind of enchanted armor sets with the lockdowns they have.
Most definitely. They do a very nice job of holding whatever advantage they have. If you give them any sort of advantage, they will just hold on to it for the rest of the game. That's what let them win RMCT 5. They played excellently there, and it could give them this game, but BPF still have a chance of coming back. Another cannon, it looks like, being set off by Foldesi here. He's looking for the potion resources now.
They really are trying to deprive BPF of anything they can get their hands on. They still have a fair amount of supplies hidden away and snuck around, so if they can use this time now and get some sort of work done, then they can definitely come back into this game very quickly.
There are, what, 4 iron blocks still sitting down in the resource area, plus all of the team's diamond. But both teams have diamond, and wow, that was a lot of a text spam. Okay then. And there's the yellow wool.
And the pass round is being done. Now it'll be interesting to see, will iTouchDude leave, or will he be staying in here to enforce some sort of lockdown? And as I say that... Oh, did I speak too soon? Maybe he wasn't dashing out.
Looks like iTouch trying to find Charberg in this PvE area, make sure he can't get out. Might just be better for him to make his way out at this point. Charberg's not really far enough into the wool yet for him to lock down from down here. And he should have an easy way out at this point.
We have Sarpal in the PvE wall, taking some shots at somebody from BPF, BZ Steve, at the start of the parkour. He's not even in the actual parkour section yet, but the first point they can actually see him at the parkour area, they're trying to shut him down straight away to not even give him the chance of getting anywhere of benefit.
Sarpal almost down into the bottom area of the PvE wall. He does have the enchanted diamond sword. He's going to be all set. But it looks like he's just going to make his way out with the yellow wool, make sure that's secure first. Path down in the PvE wall is completely lit up at this point, so there aren't going to be anything spawning. Okay, he's placing a few walls back down where it can't be cannoned, just in case someone cannons that chest, and is going to make his way back down.
So we have Fold C from Rush. He's set up base somewhat so in the resource area, and he's using that as his kind of PvP hideout for now.
Cam still sitting up at the top of the mountain, sitting in full enchanted iron. He's got projectile protection and protection and projectile protection armor. And is just being a nuisance for BPF up here on the top of the mountain. No one's going to be able to get by him.
But the question is, can they get around him? It seems they're making their way through. They're getting undetected through their tunnels and other parts. So if they can keep getting through with Rush not exactly rushing down the victory, they may be able to get some progress. But Rush are slowly getting their way through the walls. They have yellow and they're getting pretty good progress on the PvE.
BZ Steve carrying the light blue wool. That's the third wool down here. So he made it through the parkour undetected. It's just a matter of making it back now. Players do not see the notifications that we see. So no one, if they haven't spotted him, no one's seen him down here in the parkour wall. And he is on his way back.
And it doesn't look like anyone's actually looking in that direction for Rush, so he may be able to get...
Meanwhile, I touched dude in the wall as well, so he may have spotted Steve. Nope, Steve falling off into lava. That's all of the wool lost.
And Seesaw Paul is in the red wall. He's in the final part of the PvE, and he's potted up, and he's looking to just try and blitz through all these mobs. He's getting a bit of a contest here from the mobs, so he may be in a bit of danger. But it looks like he's just managed to make his way through, and he should be in the red wall.
A very confident run of third wool for iTouchDude here, taking all 27 wool as he ran back across. So if he had fallen in the lava...
And Caesar Paul's making his way out, and it is very low. He was down to 1.5 hearts there, so a dangerous play, but he's managed to get out of it. So it looks like Rush own a good position here.
So that is all three wool in possession for Rush. They just need to take these wools out of the PvE dungeon, and iTouchDude does need to come out from third in order to secure victory. And they're also going to need to make their way up to that victory monument. We've seen many ways up to it, but it can also be locked down fairly effectively.
Speaking of victory monument, I look over there now, and nothing has been started for either team, so there's still a lot to play for, and it's definitely a place where games can be changed.
3 of the 4 members for BPF sitting down here at the bottom of the mountain, or about halfway up the mountain, just being locked down by Cam here. They are having very hard time making their way up the mountain. It looks like they barely have any resources to speak of, really, as they make their way up this mountain. Meanwhile, Charberg's still making his way through. He is poisoned currently. He does have a stone sword and a stone pickaxe, plus a few arrows, but not much else to speak of.
So in the kind of hut, as it's often called, we have the kind of transfer of goods, as it looks like iTouchDude and Foldsy are trying to get some sort of the blast protection is being handed over, so it looks like we may be having an Icarus of some sorts here. Be interesting to see. It's always fun to see an Icarus come into play.
Yep, and here he goes. Doesn't look like anyone's really noticed that he's running his way back, or they've given up. Wait, nope, there they
Yep,
are on the other
Gunplay
side.
Gamer. But I don't know how much he can offer, especially against an Icarus, which is, if played right, is one of the best ways of avoiding the kind of PvP defense. But one single shot with the power of TNT can really throw things out of balance.
Touch does have all 3 wool on him. He's not forgetting anything when he goes to Icarus up here. And it looks like he's just getting his inventory set for this Icarus here.
And meanwhile, we have Foldsy just building his way up. He's got all 3 walls on him, so we may have a simple pillar up. We'll see if anyone tries to shoot him off. Meanwhile, he's actually doing the shooting himself.
And here goes the Icarus for High Touch Dude. And he makes it. So that's going to be it. Rush with the first victory for the end of season tournament. Next match, who is that going to be between?
That is going to be between Mind Blown and United States of New Zanada.
Okay, so those teams we'll see play in a few minutes here. And then after that match, we'll get the finals for Season 1 of Victory Run between Rush and the winner of that match. Excellent game to Rush here. Very well played, well thought out strategy there. Just holding off on running the wool until they had a complete domination of resources over BPF. BPF were really not able to do much. They played very well, but they just couldn't come back from that resource denial. No one had the ability to go down. I guess they assumed that the resources were gone in the iron mines. I've done that myself. Many players have done that. You see a cannon go off and don't go back to check. But that really hurt them in the end. They really couldn't do much to get the wool after that point. Lockdown on top of the mountain, too strong. They didn't have the resources to make it by, and that stopped them.